my channel. My name is Kristy Yoder, founder and CEO of SmartVas. I host a podcast show titled Master Delegator, formerly known as Delegate Your Way to Success. Can I tell you a secret about me? I am obsessed with teamwork and delegation. I consider myself a lazy entrepreneur not because I don't like working, but because I always find ways to do things in the most effective way. I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines, moved to the States, and grew my agency from one person to more than 40 plus team members as of this recording. I was able to grow my business 10 times more after I hired my first virtual assistants within 3 months. And that's why my goal in this channel is to help you grow your business by giving you fresh perspectives on delegation, up-to-date proven business strategies, and by interviewing successful entrepreneurs to teach you how to scale your business while living a freedom-filled lifestyle. Every week, we upload highlights of my interview with amazing entrepreneurs. If you want to listen to the full episode, please visit masterdelegator.com. Please also consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. So, are you ready to become a master delegator? Let's dive right in. Let's talk about founders syndrome. What exactly is that? I'm so ignorant about it. I have not heard of that. The only thing I've heard of is imposter syndrome. So maybe it's a little bit the same.
It's
They're
actually
probably similar.
completely different. It's
Completely
it's
different.
like
See, I don't have any idea.
So imposter syndrome is basically, doing something and doubting yourself, thinking that you're not good enough to do what you're doing. So I do not subscribe to imposter syndrome. In my opinion, if you're doing something, how can you be an imposter doing it? Because you're doing it. So but that's on one end of the spectrum. Founder syndrome is actually the complete opposite. It's where everything that you create, and everything that you, whether it's just an ideation or whether it's already manifested, it's yours. It's very, have you seen Lord of the Rings before? The movie Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
The character Gollum, the whole like, my precious. It's Gollum syndrome. You don't want to have anyone else touch or do anything that you've built because you have such a fear that if you don't do it or touch it, it's not going to be, done the right way or done the best way. So,
I see.
Yeah. It's definitely a little Gollum syndrome for sure. My precious type thing.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of like, this is my business. I don't want anybody to touch it because this is my baby. And if you have that kind of syndrome, does that makes a person or the business owner not want to delegate?
Yes, it make, and it's a thing. It's not that they don't want to delegate. It's a fear. It's such a fear. It's, if I don't do this myself and I give it to someone else, they could break it. They could mess up the relationship. They could delete all the data, whatever it is. That person could do something terrible. But if I do it, then I do it my way. Then and that's why it's called the syndrome. That's completely, it's completely in your head, right? It's when you do things by yourself for so long, you have a difficulty in allocating or delegating, and you just end up doing everything yourself and you burn out.
Exactly.
Are you sick and tired of being overwhelmed and afraid you'll never scale your business? Meet SmartVas. Unlike many virtual assistant agencies that only assign one dedicated virtual assistant, we provide flexibility for growing businesses by assigning a team of experienced virtual assistants that can do different tasks to support your continuous growth. Visit smartvas.online to book a free discovery call and start growing your business.
Well, I love it. I want to talk more about it. Is this something that you experience yourself?
For sure. Yeah.
Can you tell me about it? Now I'm getting excited.
I had, when I first started my wellness company back in 2018, and I started looking into, it's a real estate model. It's essentially based off of the WeWork model of flexible spaces. But those flexible spaces are specifically for independent contractors or independent businesses within one large space that are all within health and wellness. And so I was looking for real estate, and I was looking for real estate in Los Angeles, which is where we're located, and trying to do all these different things myself. Now, anyone would look at my business model and be like, oh, you're going to work with the real estate professional because they're an expert at what they do. And I was like, no, like I only know the types of businesses or buildings that I'm looking for. So I'm going to do that, or I'll do it by myself, or, oh, okay, well, then you want to have someone help you go through all the, oh, no, I don't need anyone to help me go through the properties. I can go through the properties myself. So I was doing all of this stuff myself, not accepting any help, and just made a lot of mistakes. And it took me substantially longer to get to a certain place than it would have if I would have just allocated some of the responsibilities.
Yeah, that is so interesting. I want to learn about how you can overcome that specific syndrome, and tell me about how you were able to overcome that personally.
Sure. I basically had a heart to heart with a friend of mine, and they were just like, you're really stressed out. you're really tired. You're really stressed out. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you, and I was like, oh, and you do the whole I'm okay and that whole thing. But I wasn't. It was affecting my relationships. It was affecting my sleep. It was affecting my health. And they basically identified some things that I was doing in a day, where they were like, well, what if you took this thing and you asked someone to help you with it? So I was like, okay. So I did. And I found a real estate professional, and that opened up literally hours in my day. I wasn't talking to landlords or property owners anymore. I wasn't going to like tour properties myself personally. I had a professional who would look at something and be like, oh, we're not even going to go look at that property because that property doesn't fit what you need. And they just, working with an expert, they're able to do what they're good at, and they could do it so much faster because it completely eliminates the learning curve.
Exactly.
So when I experienced that, I was like, okay, what else can I take off my plate? So then I found someone who was an expert in data analysis. And so I kind of put that piece over there. So I started doing all these different things. And eventually I was able to just focus on what I do, which is development, which is, cultivating capital connections and things like that. And I was able to just focus on that. And I saw a huge turn.
That's a nice story. How about like when there's someone listening, just in case there's someone listening to this podcast, and that someone is suffering from founder syndrome, what would you tell that person?
I would tell them, and I know this is like I normally cuss a lot, so I'm trying to like screen everything that I say and make it as PG as possible. I would say it is freaking hard, right? So like what you're experiencing is completely valid. Your fear of letting someone else do something that you care so much about, that fear is completely valid. However, you're never going to be able to do what you need to do unless you get the help that you need to get you there. Yeah. And asking for help doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you any less of a founder. It doesn't make you any less of an expert in what you do. The beautiful thing actually about expertise is that you need to have a lot of different understandings in order to be an expert. Being an expert is something that's holistic. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. Right. So yes, that's what I would tell that person is what you're feeling is totally valid. You're not alone. Everyone experiences this. And the faster that you can reach out for help, the faster you'll reach your goal.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you want to listen to the full episode, please visit masterdelegator.com or simply type in Master Delegator on Spotify, iTunes, or any other podcast channels. Please also consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't yet. See you again on the next video. Bye.